The Cedar Rapids-Linn County Solid Waste Agency is pleased to present the FY23 Operating and Capital Budget Amendment for review. The FY23 budget amendment process is as follows. Staff prepares the amendment and it is reviewed by the Finance Committee. The Finance Committee recommends approval by the Board. The budget amendment is presented to the Board of Directors for review. The Board of Directors makes a recommendation, places the budget on file, and sets a public hearing for Tuesday, April 18, 2023. The public hearing takes place and the Board adopts. The following slides will review the FY23 amended budget for revenues, operating expenses, and capital expenditures, followed by a summary and staff recommendation. The FY23 amended revenue budget is up $614,000 over the original budget. There were slight changes to each revenue category, but the key factors were a $917,000 increase in interest income due to higher interest rates on investments, a $125,000 increase in non-operating income, primarily due to the $118,000 insurance check received for the removal of derecho-damaged trees at Site 1, a $366,000 decrease in revenue share to declining recycling markets with lower commodity pricing, and a $66,000 decrease in landfill gas-to-energy revenue due to the engine being down for 1 month for an overhaul. Personnel services operating expenses are being reduced by $52,000. We had a period of time where headcount was down due to turnover and leaves of absence, which reduced our regular wages by $117,000, but we saw a 10% increase in health insurance premiums over the prior year, which resulted in a $78,000 increase over our original budget. These were the primary drivers in the decrease to personnel services. Purchased services operating expenses are being reduced by $254,000. While we saw a $127,000 increase in our handling and third-party grinding costs, we saw several significant decreases that were the primary drivers in this reduction. The public outreach budget is being reduced by $175,000 because we are only able to establish one community diversion program for mattresses this year. The Alternatives Technology Studies budget is also being reduced by $225,000 because the Forward 2044 planning is not as far along in the process as we'd thought it would be. The Supplies and Services budget is being increased by $447,000. The three categories driving this increase are 1. Diesel fuel, with an increase of $174,000 as a result of higher fuel prices in the economy. 2. Buildings and grounds maintenance, with an increase of $40,000. The main driver here is an estimated $32,000 added for repairs to the compost water well. And 3. Repairs and maintenance on vehicles, with an increase of $227,000. There were some major unanticipated equipment repairs amounting to $73,000 and track replacements on 2 pieces of equipment for $160,000. The other expense category is being increased by $2.9 million as a result of our closure post-closure fund. This increase came as a result of updated cost estimates and airspace analysis provided by our engineering firms. Capital expenses and depreciation are being reduced by $273,000 as a result of projects not being completed as early as anticipated and assets taking a long time to be delivered. The next slide will show a detailed listing of the changes to the fixed asset additions. Non-operating expense is being increased by $157,000 to account for the removal of derecho-damaged trees at Site 1. Fixed asset additions are being reduced by $49,500. There were various changes in fixed assets as a result of projects crossing between fiscal years and the changing economy. There was a truck purchase budgeted in FY23 for $34,000 that did not get purchased because of lead time. We knew about this last fall when we were preparing the FY24 budget, so it is already included there and was removed from this amendment. In summary, revenues are being increased by $614,000 and expenses are being increased by $2.9 million. Adjusted revenues over expenses for FY23 is $775,000. Staff recommends approval of the FY23 operating and capital budget amendment.